Anas radiallahu ta'ala, a very long hadith. Summary. When a good person goes into the grave and the person is asked the questions, Ma Rabbuka, who is your Lord? Ma Dinuka, what is your religion? He will answer the questions properly. Who is his Lord? Allah. What is his faith? Islam. And who is this man? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He will answer it properly. But the person who did not live that good life in this world, what's going to happen to him? Who didn't live by the Quran and didn't follow the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and didn't stay away from haram and follow halal, what's going to happen to him? The punishment begins. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that he will be made to sit in the grave. And then the angel will take a hammer. Go check it in Bukhari. I mean, that's why I went through the Quran. But go check the hadith, and I'm just getting, you don't have to believe or not believe. Go believe in the book, you don't have to believe what I say. The angel will hit him so hard between the two ears, on his head, some say on the top of his head, on the forehead. But hadith says between his two ears, he will be clapped so hard that he will scream so loud that everything else in the world will hear that sound and that cry, except the jinnats and the human beings. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked once, why we won't be able to hear it? He said, Allah has saved you from hearing that cry. Because if human beings were to hear that bawl, that scream, that cry that person will make with that hammer hit on his head, nobody will want to bury their dead ones again. Could you imagine you're going to want to bury your father, your mother, your brother, your wife, or your sister, your husband in the grave? Especially if you know he never prayed and never did good and never did anything. You're going to probably stand him at the grave to see when the hammer will hit. And have an automatic thing, pull him out. Nobody will bury the dead after that. And maybe that's why some muhaddithin says, if we human beings were to hear the sound of that cry, that a man will cry when he's hit into the grave for not obeying Allah and following the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we would really live a better life. But Allah did not want to fear us. You know why? We will stop eating. We will stop drinking. We wouldn't want to marry. We wouldn't want to work. We wouldn't want to live in this world. We will be so scared of that hammer hit. Deadly. And I want to quote one little last hadith. I'm going to quote that in Arabic. You see, when it gets a little complicated, we like to quote the Arabic because sometimes people don't believe. Or you could take the CD and go check it after. And I will conclude with that, inshallah, because it's time to stop. A very interesting hadith, not very deep and hard. The hard things we spoke about already. Allah permits us, we'll continue in another khutbah, inshallah. Those of you who missed the beginning of the khutbah, you could get the CD, or we're continuing from the past khutbahs that we spoke about death and the angel of death and what happens around death. So we just reminded ourselves a little bit about the grave. And again, those of you who came late, just a little bit again on that incident that happened in North Carolina, how you could die anytime and anyone could shoot you anywhere and anytime. And you could be whatever. Muslim now, they're going to kill you faster too. So you got to be prepared for death anytime. What do we have in preparation for this grave to be saved from this hammer, this hell, and this Jahannam? Here is hadith. It's nothing to do with punishment, but it's just a little lesson. Inna ahsana ma zurtumullah bihi. Here it is. Fi quburikum wa masajidikum al-bayaz. This is a very interesting thing. And I thought I'll share this with you, bi'idhnillah. It's a little reminder. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, a lot of people have a lot of questions. Why this, why that? Why do you bury people in white? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, the best to do and the best of that in which when you go into the grave is that you should go in white. That's why people put white clothes, white coffin. Or when you go to Ihram, you tie the white. And you encourage people to be in white. This is the hadith, Hazrat Abu Darda radiallahu ta'ala. Go check the hadith, please. And hear what he says again. Wa masajidikum al-bayad. And the best color to dress in when you go to the masjid is in white. I know. Some of us dress in black as do everybody dead here. This is a gown and a coat, but the white is the sunnah. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I'm telling you this because we live in the West and a lot of you adopt the Christian style. Because the Christian style is to dress in black at a funeral. So we all think black refers to death. No. So let's remind ourselves. Go check the hadith. White when you come to the masjid, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, best. He didn't say it's haram to dress in other colors. Don't miss the fiqh. Best, ahsan, better to dress in white when you go to the house of Allah and you go and pray to Allah. When you die and you go in the grave, let them dress you in white. You won't be able to dress yourself, but let them dress. And that's why that tradition has been there. That's why they don't request black suit and tie in the grave. See what I'm saying? And even Muslims, based on this, ulama have said, even when you go to Muslim funerals, dress in white. It is a non-Muslim thing to dress in black. That looks very scary. So try to understand. I just wanted to share this in the line of the grave, because in the adab and the etiquettes of the masjid and the grave, a lot of times people don't understand. Why do people wear white? Why is it I have to wear white when I go to masjid? Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, ahsan, better, which means it's not haram to dress your dead in a yellow cloth. You could dress him in red, yellow, blue, or green. It ain't haram. But it is the sunnah of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam that he has recommended.